Here we are, back at the top of the hill. I'm getting a little hard breathing of my own going on.
For the dragonfly?
I told you, hon, they're everywhere. See, there's the extra piles of asphalt I told you about. Why they just dumped them there, I have no idea.
Yeah. And early this spring and early summer, this field was full of wheat. Of course, it was short, stunted wheat due to the lack of rain, but
yeah,
that's where the geese would bed down for the night. And like in late in the evening, they go out there and catch some insects and eat them. And otherwise, they would be either in the lake here or cross over into the soccer fields, which you'll get to see momentarily.
Yes, you will. And as you can see, we're approaching the downhill portion of this little jaunt, this little merry jaunt.
There's a nice shot of the bridge too.
Yeah, I got a good close-up view while I was down there.
Good.
And the tunnel as well, and I let them know about its special function. I've actually walked the railroad track once before. Unfortunately, the train was in the tunnel at the time, so they had the tunnel locked up. So I couldn't walk through that. So what I had to do was I had to climb up over the hill and then drop down on the other side. But that was fun. It was very fun.
And you know, this isn't just a place for people to walk themselves. We have seen families out here, entire families with their little children, either in strollers or walking beside their parents, or even riding their bikes or roller skating. And
families have brought dogs with them too.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of dogs. Just a few give a problem, but most of them, they're just curious. They want to know what's going on. And I remember one day I was out here walking, doing my 5 miles, and there was a family out here with about 3 kids, and they'd walk to the seating area, and then everyone in the family would get up and sing or dance or something to entertain each other. And as a reward, they'd get a piece of candy or something, and then they'd walk to the next seating area and repeat it.
That's a good way to keep the walking interesting.
Yeah, and you get to take a break. You keep the kids interested. They don't get bored. So it might be a good way for those with little kids to be able to go walking without the kids getting bored.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though kids are full of energy, if they have a short burst of energy, they're going to be tired.
Believe me, I know. I used to be that way.
So that gives them a few minutes to rest and recuperate, get a drink, and then continue on. And that,
that's
of course,
redundant.
Of course, that will give them something to remember when they're older too. The actual family time that they got, which a lot of families don't get to have these days. Yeah.
I mean, I can remember the stuff that I did with my parents as a family, and even though there was some of it that now that doesn't interest me now, when I was a kid, it's like the best thing ever, getting to go out and go camping with my family or going fishing, even if I failed horribly.
Yeah.
They're not things I do now, but they're things that I had fun doing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And if I ever have children, I hope I pass such on to my descendants.
Yeah. Some of my most favorite childhood memories are going to my grandmother's and playing with my cousins, or after Sunday school for several years, the entire Sunday school and or church would go out and we'd have a picnic at least every other Sunday down at the picnic area below the Lynn Dam in Kentucky. And of course we'd go wading, the parents would go fishing, we'd take board games and stuff, and it was fun. We really enjoyed each other's company way back then.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a breeze going on here, but that's par for the course for Oklahoma.
Where the wind always blows.
Yeah. The wind indicator might occasionally read 0 miles per hour, but it's a lie.
Oh look, they did paint out the fields the other day when we were walking.
Why, yes. Yes, they did. There's the soccer fields down there. And over down that way, You can see the softball and baseball fields. They basically have everything around here except for a skate park and a football field. But the football team's got the football field, and as for a skate park, well, our town hates skaters. So, there you go.
There's a nice close-up view of into the tunnel and to the other side.
Yeah. Yep. As you can see, they have the tunnel fully open today because they have the train going, but when they have the train stored, they close up both sides. And then down here you can see a nice downstairs shot of Acme Pond Alpha.
Mm-hmm. And you can actually see where the water line was earlier this year.
Yeah, I showed it to them while I was down on the train tracks earlier. Zoomed in on it.
And we'll have a close-up view because there's an actual part of the trail that comes within 5 feet of the water line, the original water line.
And that's where that hard evidence of the drought that I promised y'all is going to be.
As you can see, they have concession stands built out here and restrooms and faucets.
Yeah.
But it's only turned on during actual games.
Yeah, which, by the way, something I forgot to mention about the fields. You see how green that is? Now look at the ground right in front of us. Fields, park. Fields, park. Park, fields. Any questions? I'm not answering that one.
As you can tell in the distance, this is why the fields are so green. And the park isn't.
It's because they have sprinklers. Yeah, you can tell out there by the
softball
out there between the soccer and softball fields, there are sprinklers going. But it's almost on there on the softball fields. The sprinklers are going.
They're right out there at the very edge of the parking lot.
Yeah. Hey, let's go run over there and run under the sprinklers, hon.
It'd feel good.
Oh, I just noticed something. They built the tunnel around a little culvert.
Yeah. They probably had it leveled off, put that on there, cast the concrete, and then bulldoze dirt over it. That would be the easiest way.
It makes sense. I mean, drain culverts are some of the strongest cylindrical structures we've got, so. And, you know, it makes for easy tunneling. Just add dirt.
Yep. Because the way the earth slopes here, it doesn't look like it's a natural hill.
It's nice and quiet out this morning.
Yep.
When we tried to shoot last time, not only did we have the loud wind, but we had people going by on gators. We had someone going by with the mower.
Which is probably where we walked earlier off the trail. It's probably where he took the mower.
Yeah.
Then he was kind enough to stop and let us walk by him before trying to come across the railroad tracks where the path intersects.
Yeah.
And there's the third bench.
Yeah, so we are now at the 3/4 mile mark. Actually a little bit longer since we did walk down the hill a bit. So we're getting a little more walking in than we did last time. Both of us.
A lot of times this spring, I'd come out here and there would be fishermen out in the little inflatable, I guess, wader boots that had the inflatable ring around the waist, and they would be out here just fishing up a storm. Of course, the ducks and the geese were out too, so they could see where the fish were. But stick-ups there are a really nice place to catch the fish.
Yeah. Where the drowned trees are.
Yep. It gives the fish a lot of cover. And it also lets you tangle up your line. Believe me, I did that back on Lowland to Dad's aggravation.
Yeah, I've caught my fair share of tree bass as well. There's also this one time we were out at one of the local lakes around here, Foss Lake, and excuse me for a second. Excuse me. Great, now I gotta sneeze too.
Bless you.
Anyway, we were out one of the local lakes around here, and it was a church youth group trip. We were all going to fish at the marina at the local lake, and I had my pole in the water. I had it leaning up on the railing. I go over to talk to a friend of mine. All of a sudden, I look over and I see the rod doing this little jiggle thing. I'm like, oh my god, I got a fish, and I run over to it, and I just missed the pole flipping over the railing going into the water. The story gets better. That fishing pole was my sister's. I had borrowed it.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, now when my niece gets older, I'm
That
yeah.
first waterfowl I've seen on there in the last 2 times we come to walk.
Yeah.
So what about your niece?
Yeah. My sister says when my niece gets old enough, I am to replace the
Fishing pole?
replace the fishing pole if I can find a Woodstock from Peanuts fishing pole. Look at the duck! Look at the ducky!
And it's not rubber ducky either.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
That was in a Megazog voice.
Megatron.
Megatron, okay.
Partially inspired by a YouTube video involving David K., the voice of Beast Wars Megatron, as well as Unicron Trilogy Megatron.
Oh, look at the ants.
Yeah, they are not exactly marching 2 by 2 though.
No, they're marching more like 3 and 4 by 4. Must be where their nest is. They're all going in and out of it.
Fire ants!
They got like 3, 4 different openings there.
Ants, they are walking!
Oh gosh.
That was your random classic rock serenade moment for the day. Apologies to Colt. Very, very, very big apologies to the band Colt. But anyway, as I was saying, that little voice I was using to sing Little Rubber Ducky was inspired by a video of voice actor David K. having sung Little Rubber Ducky in his Megatron voice. Yes. I've been told I do a fair approximation of that. I also do a pretty fair Mezagoga. And sometimes those voices end up strangely hybridizing into each other.
Yep.
So I get a Megatron Mezagog. Yes.
I hear the train.
Train's rolling.
Yes, it is.
Train kept it rolling all night long.
You will stop and wait and as it goes by?
I think I will. So we'll catch you after the train goes by.